my doctor every single time. Now, I've got 9 kids. So when my wife goes, it's great for her to go and take them all at one time. But when we take them all at one time, because we had the co-insurance that went with them, that went per child, not per every single time you walked in, it would cost us a gazillion dollars. But we just did it because guess what? It was always easier for my wife to take them in, right? And I paid for a 0 deductible, 0 copayment, so I paid a huge monthly premium because I didn't want my wife to have to pull her checkbook out when she was at the doctor's office. So I went, if we could find something that was this small and take my kids there, normally they sneeze, they get a shot, right? And we pay a gazillion dollars to do that. What we found with the co-op is you can take them, not use my family, 9 kids. They can take them all with a 0 copayment. And if we want to take them over and over and over again, guess what? We can take them over and over and over again. It really, really is that simple because when you get to that doctor's office, they normally say, take this prescription and go to the pharmacy, give them a shot, let's take a diagnostic test or x-ray, and all that stuff is included. Listen, they got it right. So that's the access portion of it, right? And if I didn't have to pay a gazillion dollars out of my pocket every single time I took me, my 9 kids there, I get it. So, by the way, guess what? I got it. I was our first member of our group of the co-op. And I got it quickly before they could change the rule. Because when I call 9 kids in there, what are they going to say? They're going to say, wait, let's jack up the price. Now, second, we have the insurance portion of it. And it's just very, very simple. If you can afford it, right, the premiums, and they have pre-existing conditions that are covered, right, there's got to be a waiting period if they're going to accept pre-existing conditions. And this was done before they passed a new health care bill. That pre-existing conditions were covered. There was a 60-day waiting period. Yeah, 60 days. After that, uncle, you can get it. And so we did that. So now you have it. Now I want you to get this. But they did something that nobody else did. And this is the thing that they get it. They went in and negotiated the prices for the insurance. And they went to the Medicare rates, which are 1/3 of the rate. So you and I can walk in. Christopher, you, I, and Cheryl can walk in, right? And if we take Don with us because he's over 65, right? He gets charged a different rate because he's over 65 as Medicare. Or Christopher, if you had a Social Security disability, approved disability, you can have a Medicare too, right? So you two walk in and get a rate. I walk in with my wife and my kids, and we get a higher rate because they're going to charge you less because of your condition and you less because of your age. So what we're saying at the co-op is we're going to charge everybody that. And the worst case scenario is you can walk into the same place and get somebody who has a Social Security approved disability or somebody because they're over 65, you can get their rate. And everybody can get that rate. Now that alone says that if my expense is reduced, right, I have unlimited access, then I don't need as much insurance. Because you need more insurance because the prices are high. So now we can reduce the insurance that you need to have because the cost is less. Listen, it is really that simple. It's really, now we just go get a whole bunch of people and tell them that story. And we say we can put together a group that will work with individuals, that will work with families, and that will work with businesses. And we're going to teach you that you can have access that's so affordable that you can take you and, hey, help me. I've got 9 kids. So what if I can't make it? Because I'm part of the cooperative, I can call and we have a fund that we put every single time we pay our membership. Every single time we pay, we put something in there, and guess what happens? It creates a fund so that if something happens to me and I can't work and I can't make that bill, I can call Don. And because all of you are in that co-op with us, guess what? They can help me and my 9 kids. Or move me out. How about that mother and 2 kids? How about that father and 2 kids? Because there's single fathers out there too. But see, all the stuff that you're asking for, we not only do we have it, we have a system, we have a process, we have a structure. It's easy to communicate. It's easy to understand. Not a lot of paperwork, not a lot of red tape. It's going in and being able to convince yourselves that if you get together as a cooperative to get people together to buy something that we're going to get anyway, that we're going to pay for anyway, right? If you do that, then guess what happens? You can build a crusade. Because if we build a crusade, then people are out there seeing things that can't be done when the insurance companies say, or other people say it can't be done. We say we're doing it. And we go out and together as a group in Portland, you put together a whole bunch of people, just like all those groups that were up there, that understand the ability to put large groups together. We can now do those things with a nonprofit that's already there. We can also add the access. We also have the insurance, and we also have the reduced prices. Now find somebody with all 3 of those components and then are able to communicate it. Now all we have to do is say, okay, great. Anybody, now I want you to get this. Anybody that could buy something for less will do it. Is there anybody that won't? Because if you won't, I need you to meet me over there and I'll sell you something. Whatever you buy. So if you're going to go and get those services for less, right, that are going to cost less, things that are going to happen when you go to the hospital, going to happen when you go to the doctor for less, and have nothing else, they can join as a member and have access to the prescription drug card, which, by the way, everybody has one now, right? Right. So, I mean, as much as we want to say that's that's not the only thing, right? But the other one is going into those doctors' offices, going into those hospitals, and paying less, and just being a member. So, membership will have its what? Membership will have its privileges. Now, I want to tell you one last thing, and then I'll sit down, because I want you to get this. This is really, really about educating. But education doesn't matter if you can't communicate it. It's educating people about where we are, informing them on how the access works, and then being able to communicate it. If you're able to do that just by the information that we've just given you tonight, then coming together and building a group as big as you can will give you what? The ability to not just communicate it to the members, but also communicate to those people that are supposed to be representing us. And saying, if we can get it right, then the movement will move you to get it right. Now, if the 3 of us or 4 of us or 5 of us are speaking, people are not going to listen. But if we put 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people and they speak, then what can we do then with the prices? Can we negotiate lower prices? Can we say that Medicare may not be the number, that we'd like to have it smaller? Let us have 100, 200,000 members in our group, in our organization, and people will reduce what prices for us when we're already in the reduced place. So listen, my question is this. Listen, this was so easy. It took me, I'm not the brightest person in this room. I mean, I listened to these guys talking. I mean, you know I'm not bright because that kidney, we had to call you to put the camera together, right?
3 times.
Are you? Yeah, 3 times. Okay. Yeah, really, really not. No, it's not. I got 5 other brothers and sisters, and they're all smarter than I am. They all have doctor and stuff behind their name. They all work for me, though. But are you willing to get involved? Now, a lot of you, I just walked around and listened to you. But are you willing to change everybody else's paradigm? To bring to the co-op the things that you know and you found, to meet and sit back and talk about those things that you can touch, to take the 2 types of medicines, and I'm so with you, and say they should be a hybrid, right? To figure out, let's do it right, let's do it with less cost. Can we communicate to the different groups that you all organize that say, hey, listen, I think we found a place after we do our due diligence that we can not only join, but we can start a movement that will help us not 5 years from right now, but today. The day I joined the co-op, the day I signed my whole family up, because I'm a firm believer that you lead from the front, right? My daughter got sick, and we were transitioning from one insurance to another insurance, and because she turned 25, she had to come off of my insurance. It now costs me less to have her in this whole plan with access, insurance, and reduced costs than it did for me to put her on mine. So that gap alone was huge. So the real question is, are you willing to be involved? Are you willing to ask some questions that seek first to understand, then to be understood? And then are you willing to go out and do the work? There's not a lot of people here. A movement doesn't start with a lot of people. That's normally when you have the riots and you have the moms. A movement starts with few people with a great heart and with a decision and a vision to move forward. Thanks. Thank you.